Welcome to Drawing Conclusions. I'm Josh.
I'm Jessica.
Today we're reviewing a movie that's direct to Netflix, The Legacy of a Whitetail Deer Hunter.
Yeah, this is actually a South by Southwest Film Festival selection that Netflix picked up and put on their streaming service. It stars Josh Brolin and Danny McBride and this kid, Montana Jordan. It's directed by Jody Hill, who I guess is well known by some people, but I'd never heard of before we watched this movie.
Right.
He's done a lot of stuff with Danny McBride, a lot of TV stuff, HBO. We don't have HBO. We don't watch HBO stuff.
No.
So,
So
I was not familiar with his work.
Jessica, starting off, what did you like about this show?
Well, I mean, there were things I liked about it. I thought Josh Brolin did a good job. He's a good actor. You know, he turned in a good performance. The show's supposed to be a comedy. I'm not sure that his character was really very funny, but I don't know if that's so much Josh Brolin's performance as it just is the script.
Yeah.
But certainly in kind of exploring who this man is and this character and helping you understand kind of everything he's wrestling with, and I thought he did a really good job. It was beautiful. I mean, it was beautiful scenery.
Cinematography is very good.
There were moments when I found it very touching. There were a few times I found it humorous. I would never really laughed out loud. Like I from the trailer, I thought it would be a lot funnier.
Yeah, the trailer made it look a lot, kind of, I don't know, not quite slapsticky, but a bit more funny.
Right.
More humor.
There was a moment actually in the trailer that I thought would be funny that actually ended up being much more serious and intense in the movie than it was funny. So that was interesting. And I thought the kid that played Josh Brolin's son, Montana Jordan, he was pretty good. Other people, I've read some comments that have found his performance flat or whatever, but to me that was the way he portrayed the kid is exactly how he was supposed to. There's a lot more subtlety of variation of the emotions with him. He's supposed to be kind of
he's playing like a 12, 13-year-old.
Right.
And he really seems like the modern 12 and 13-year-old.
Right.
Just cares about what that generation cares about and is just that way. And I thought he did a good job.
Yeah. What'd you like about it?
I really loved the cinematography. I thought the mountains, the forest, the hills, the waterfalls and the streams, I mean, everything just looked awesome.
Yeah.
It's just like a place you'd want to just kind of go take a day hike, just to go check it out. And if you're an outdoorsman, you definitely would like the cinematography in the show. Yeah. Josh Brolin, I thought, was really good. He brought something to this role that I expected to be funny, but actually had more serious undertones to it. And like you said, the things he's going through, and they're not really funny, but I think he handled it really nice. And he plays an outdoorsman and a hunter, and I like they didn't play that up for jokes so much, and it kind of took it a little more serious.
But so that's what confuses me about the movies. Is the movie, I couldn't really tell what I was supposed to feel about Josh Brolin's character. If I was supposed to find him buffoonish and ridiculous and annoying and an a-hole and whatever, or if I was supposed to think that hunting was terrible and an atrocity, and if they were making fun of these kinds of people, like if the movie was trying to make fun of them, that's what it seemed like from the trailer. And there were parts of the movie, there were times in the movie where I thought were they're really kind of mocking these kinds of individuals. But then in the way that Josh Brolin played the character, I felt like he wasn't doing that. He wasn't making fun of the character. He wasn't mocking those people. So the tone seemed really uneven to me, and the story was kind of thin. Honestly,
it didn't seem like it was very long.
No, there wasn't much meat. It was a very it was more like something that could have been done like in a short film. It was a very thin plot.
It felt kind of padded.
And
parts.
And the Danny McBride character, I just hated him.
Yeah,
I just hated him.
Moving on to what you didn't like, Danny McBride. I think we both had the same thing in that, which is a bummer because I've seen Danny McBride in other shows, and I've actually liked him in the other films that I've seen him in. This one, I mean, his character is kind of played it for laughs, but the stuff was just
it's not funny. It's not funny.
It kind of came off flat and gross in parts.
Well, it's very gross. I mean, the thing is, you know, I think Danny McBride's kind of known for doing things with kind of gross, crass, vulgar humor. I mean, right? It's not really that out of left field for Danny McBride. But in this movie, it felt super out of place to me.
Right.
This is, again, where the tone feels uneven. It's like, I don't get, like, his whole thing just took me completely out of the relationship between the dad and the son.
It really got in the way to me.
Yeah, it was very distracting and like kind of took away from the emotions that I was having about it and kind of my interest in the story. And I was so bothered by the way that he was interacting with this kid.
Yeah.
The things that he was saying to him, the things he was showing, the things he was doing with him.
It
was so highly inappropriate.
He came off like a creep.
Yeah, like somebody who just.
Well, I think it could have been.
You would never want to have your child be around that person.
Right, and some of the stuff that he did, you'd be like, why would you hang out with this guy at all?
Right.
And that's kind of I think they kind of shortchanged the character because they could have actually made him funny and left out all that stuff and made him more interesting. Instead, they just kind of lowballed it, and I don't know, got in the way. Just really got in the way.
Well, I think he was supposed to be the likable character, right? Like Josh Brolin's character was supposed to be kind of like the tough guy who's hard on everybody, and you know,
the
he's
gruff dad.
And he's so strict and he's selfish and whatever. And you're supposed to kind of like not super like Josh Brolin's character, I think. And you're supposed to like Danny McBride's character, but I didn't like Danny McBride's character because, I mean, maybe it's the mother in me, but I seriously, if my kid were being talked to that way by an adult or having the kind of interactions that this kid was having with that adult throughout the film, I would be mortified beyond belief. Like, I would be angry, enraged, and it was just gross. He was gross. He was disgusting and gross.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that you were supposed to like him and not like Josh Brolin. I actually ended up liking Josh Brolin's character much more as the show goes on. And, you know, Danny McBride aside, final thing I guess I would say I did like about the show was this idea of like fathers passing on tradition down to their sons. I did enjoy that part of the show, and I wish they'd focused a lot more on that and kind of just skirted Danny McBride's character.
I mean, there's by no means is that story fresh. You know, it's a theme that's been explored many times. But so what? Years. We mean, romance has been explored. I mean, right? Like, the same stories are explored all the time. Right. And if they're done well, then that's fine. It's not a problem. But this just wasn't done well. The movie was so uneven. Yeah. And it just was not well executed. Yeah. I think there was a germ of a really good idea there, and they just kind of blew it.
Yeah, I agree. So, in closing, I think I would give this movie maybe 1.5 point buck. Not a deer term there for you hunters out there. Not a great movie. I don't know
what that means.
It has to do with the antlers.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, right. I'm not even sure if there is such a thing as a 1.5 point buck.
Yeah, you don't know. He's not a hunter.
I am not a hunter.
He's trying to trick you right now.
Okay. No, cat's out of the bag. Anyway, but 1.5 stars. It wasn't great.
No. And
it could have been so much better.
Yeah, it's totally a skip it to me. It's like not worth watching. There are far better movies out there that explore complicated father-son relationships. Watch Field of Dreams.
Yeah, watch Field of Dreams. It's probably on some streaming service somewhere, or it's probably super cheap at a used video store.
Right,
worth a watch. Yeah, get it on Amazon, whatever. Anyway, so hope you enjoyed this edition of Genre Conclusions. Don't forget to like, subscribe,
comment, share with your friends, of course, and of course check out our Patreon and follow us there for exclusive content, including our podcast and sneak peeks at art and all kinds of cool stuff.
Thanks for watching.